Yo, what's going on, guys? It is FoxToDo98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we are back with another challenge video. Today we're doing dry tires on a wet track challenge. Last week we did the wet tires on a dry track. Now we're doing dry tires on a wet track. So I've gone with Charles Leclerc for this challenge. Main reason is I wanted to try and do this challenge to sort of replicate something similar that happened in real life. And obviously Charles Leclerc struggled in the slightly damp conditions at the German Grand Prix on dry tyres, doing that fantastic pirouette spin. But obviously I didn't want to do the German Grand Prix again, so I just went to the Hungarian Grand Prix because I know it rained in qualifying. I could have done it in Belgium either, but it was full wet conditions in the Hungarian Grand Prix quali. So we're going to do this now. So what we're going to be doing is, well, we're just going to see how long we go, to be honest, and just probably end up spinning loads and flashbacking probably a lot, but there we go. It is what it is. So we have to do the first lap on the wet tires. Like, no matter what I do, there is no possible way I can change to the dry tires. Oh my god, the projected race time goes up by 1 hour and 10 minutes if I do the whole race on intermediates. Bloody hell. But yeah, so I wonder what it's going to be then if I do it on dry tires. There we go. Yeah, let's try this now. So we've got to do the first lap on wet tires. So I'm just gonna, well, we're gonna do that anyway. And then I'm going to pit for the ultra soft tyres and then go to the end of the race. So that's the objective. I always don't even like the wet anyway in this game. It's a lot harder to drive in the wet on F1 2018. That's a fact. And I'm just going to go down the inside because they always leave the door open on the first lap. There we go. Alright, here we go. Then we're coming into the pits for our stop. I wish that they enabled you to have a go at the monsoon, like weather conditions as well. Because that'd be really cool if you could do that. Because in this game, sometimes when you do like 50% races, it may say like for like one period of the Grand Prix, you're going to get monsoon or proper full-on thunderstorms. But that's not a feature when you do it in a race. It's really weird and I don't understand it. I wish you were eligible to do it. Anyway though, we're on the ultra soft tyres, and these were the tyres that Charles Leclerc struggled on. So the main thing is going to be watching out these temperatures, because these are going to be... Oh, God. Jesus. We shouldn't have a problem. Ever since I've come into the pits to this point now, the gap has stayed at 53 seconds. It's gone from 46 to 53. There's just no difference in pace. Do you know what? I'm going to quit this race, and I'm going to do this against 0% AI, and I'm going to try and beat them, because I actually think I can do it, and I'm going to go in the Red Bull for a bit more downforce. I think I can beat them. This is too easy. Alright, I'm doing this again. 0% AI this time. Wet weather conditions. I'm in a Red Bull now instead, because I thought it would genuinely be hard. Really isn't. I'll just lost for the stop. It's an okay getaway. I'll still about break him towards the first corner though. There we go, down the inside. Go wide, doesn't really matter. Alright, let's do it. Dry tyres, wet track, versus 0% AI. The fastest lap of a 43.4, but I was in the pits, so can't really take that into consideration. Let's go. Right, let's see what I can do. I've already built a big enough gap to probably come out in the middle of this pack. So it's going to be very critical now that I try and beat these guys. Okay. Just about in front of Ericsson. Kind of. Get out the way, Fernando. You're too slow. I actually didn't think I'd be doing that. I'm overtaking the AIs on wet tyres when I'm on dry tyres on a wet track. And I'm all over the back of Grosjean now. This isn't real life. This is fake content. This visibility isn't helping, mind. That's Grosjean dealt with. That's in the inside of him. Next up is Sergio Perez. Go away, Jeff. Well, let's not take Ocon yet. We'll take Perez, though. That's us up to 11th. I nearly ran into the back of Ocon. That's how slow they brake. I mean, it's 0% AI, so I don't know why I'm complaining as much, but it's the fact of the tyres that I'm on right now. I've got better traction on Ultras. Oh my god. See you later. And I can even make the corner. Oh my god. Next up's Van Dorn. Can I win this race? Nah, I'm good with the dries, actually, to be honest. Jeff, I think the wet tyres are a little bit dull, if you ask me. Okay, that's probably the first time that... Okay, I may have whacked Stoffel a bit then, but... It doesn't matter! Stoffel's irrelevant in life. Power slide it into there. Gap 7.4 between myself and Hulkenberg. I pulled the gap out to 2.1 over Van Dorn. This is such a weird race that I'm doing right now. Gap is 6.3 seconds. I'm still closing the gap, despite the fact I'm on dry tyres. That is just miracle stuff right now. I'm actually now starting to push harder. I'm wrestling the car more. Tyre wear isn't a problem either. 20% only. I can do the whole race on this set. It won't be a problem. Might lose out near the end of the race, but... As that and my ERS, I can just leave that in hot lap, to be honest. Because that's not going down either. Hulkenberg and Sainz are starting to battle a little bit up front. It's actually helping me. Closed the gap by 2 seconds then on that last lap. In fairness, they were fighting into the chicane, so... Whereas for me right now, I'm just comfortable. I'm just slowly catching them. And that's because they're battling. If they weren't, it'd be a stretch, to say the least. Oh, I think one of the Ferraris has stopped. Yeah, Raikkonen's out of the race. That promotes us up to 8th place. I'm still catching the guys in front though. Gap's 2.1 now. I could be on for P4 here. I think. P6. That'd be P7, P6, and... No, P5, sorry. Yes, I can still get 5th. Trying to go around the outside of Hulkenberg then. So where am I faster on the track compared to the others? There's another personal best. That's pretty much matching the leader's pace. They're about 0.2 of a second go lap quicker than me. So braking points are very similar to the AIs. Cornering speed is very similar. Traction is where you lose out the most compared to the AIs. You just don't have the traction, obviously, because... Face it, you're on dry tyres, for God's sake, on a wet track. So the traction's not there, but everywhere else is the same. But because traction is so critical, especially around the Hungaroring, it makes it harder. Please get out of the way, Hulkenberg. Now, you're actually starting to hold me up, and I didn't think I'd be saying this. Trying to swoop around the outside, get a better line on the switch, but it's not going to work. Because braking points are very similar. In fact, you might be able to brake just a tiny bit earlier. But through here now, I'm going to be probably on par, if not slightly quicker. You can see how I'm gaining now on Hulkenberg in this middle part of the lap. It's very hard to see, mind. But I broke a bit too early into that corner. Now pushing him. Well, in that circumstance, I probably actually did better on the power. Sorry, on the braking. Easy move down the inside on Sainz. Left enough space and room. Now next up's Magnussen for 5th place. And again, just been able to carry that much more speed. Back end will always slide on the exit. But some braking zones, you can actually go faster than the airs. But then again, look on traction now. That's where the biggest thing is. That initial traction phase, the airs are much more dominant compared to you. So you've got to be careful of that. That was too inviting, to be honest. I'm going to outbrake myself, though. Can't do the switchback, damn it. I don't have the traction to do it. Drop it to 2nd to get the nose in. I'm going to go to the inside here because I can get the run. There we go. Then we'll just force him out wide. And just like that, that's another overtake. And next up is Daniel Ricciardo, but he's a good half a lap away, so what I've just proven, really, is that wet tyres on a dry track is nowhere near as hard as it was last year. Last year, it was literally driving on thin ice. This time, it's difficult, but you can actually beat 0% AI, kind of. I'm not going to match the top two. I can't match the top two's pace, but you can pretty much do best of the rest. Like, maybe if I was in a Mercedes, or not a Mercedes, sorry, a Ferrari, because the Ferrari's got the fastest car, you might have a potential of doing better. I am only in a Red Bull, but then again, this is a track that suits Red Bull, so it's not all terrible, but nevertheless, I'm just afraid about hitting the wall then. There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. That's definitely for Daniel Ricciardo. Just trying to look now at me on the map. That's a virtual safety car. That was a full course safety car. Oh, it's Hamilton. Oh, I thought it was Ricciardo. It looked more in the way of Hamilton then. This is another thing as well. Under the VSC, it's actually easier to... You can actually match the virtual safety car time. Like here, now I'm going fast in the virtual safety car. In the wet conditions, I lost over... wet tyres, dry track. I was losing over a second. And that was just from... Oops. Just drop down a gear. Oh my god, I'm miles quite fast in the Delta. Imagine doing a dry tyres wet track championship versus 0% AI. Hungarian Grand Prix is like round number 6, eh? You pick a fast car, Red Bull, Ferrari or Mercedes, you do dry tyres, wet track, you see if you can win a championship. That'd be insane. It's alright, Jeff, it's not really become undrivable ever since I started driving, to be honest. It's actually been quite an easy ride. Okay, maybe you can go faster than the AIs on dry tyres, wet track then. That was unexpected. Fastest lap, 1:42.5. What's that, like 6/10 quicker than the others? Well, that's the end of the race. I thought there was another lap to go. Oh, Sebastian Vettel wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Hamilton's going to come across the line and finish in P2. Daniel Ricciardo will take home 3rd place, but, I mean, I've run out of fuel on the line. Oopsie. Doesn't really make a difference. It's not really going to replicate the gap fully now. Oh well. Cross the finish line. P4. Dry tyres, wet track challenge done. That's so much easier than wet tyres, dry track. It's like a complete role reversal. I think it's because of the new temperature systems, but literally, it's one of those ones where I feel like it's to do with the temperature, because in this one, the main tire itself was cold, but the outside temperature of the tire was warm, because they've got two different forms of tire temperatures that they measure now, like the carcass and then the outer edges of the tire. And you're still eligible to keep that warm because the car's sliding. You're sort of still generating that friction and heat. Shut up, Crofty. And again, it's quite an Crofty, shut your mouth. Thank you. Thanks, Crofty, for being kind. And from there, you're just able to generate more heat into the tires, whereas wet tires, dry track, you're generating so much heat that you're A, wearing down the tires, and B, you've just got so little grip because they're so hot. And it's quite interesting how it works. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. That is the challenge done. We finished in P4, 0% AI. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. And I'll see you guys for the next challenge whenever it comes out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Peace.